few little jobs to go on with today, or in this video. First of all, got the brake cable to fit to the conical hub. Also got a pair of taps for the new tank and some unions. So we've got a reserve and a main, and also got some bits for the exhaust. I've got the silencers now, we've got the brackets there. I've also got the long strap which goes underneath, and fixing bolts there for these brackets for the silencers, and also got the little bits for the side panel. So that's the knob in there and the little captive nut. So yeah, there's a few little bits and pieces we can get on with. I think first of all we'll do the cable. Right, so got the cable, got the spring, got the trunnions, and a pair of washers, which I've actually just I had to bore out a couple of ones I had because I didn't have the correct ones. And I've also got one of these closed trunnions from a different supplier. Don't know whether that come up on camera, but this one here has a slightly bigger bore than that one. So whichever one fits best is the one we'll use. Well, these ones came as a pair, so we'll try these ones first. Yeah, and the other thing in this, this is the parts list. It's not actually shown correctly. So the washers go on the split trunnion, which goes up at the front of the bike, so to speak. So yeah, they've shown the washers in the correct place, this end of the cable, but they put the wrong part number against this trunnion. So the part number in the parts list is the wrong way round, so that's a little bit confusing. Yeah, just something to watch out for. If, like me, you're building this from bits, so you haven't had the original one to take to pieces, so you're not really too sure. You have to go by information you can find. Yeah, so that's just that pointed out. Right, so what we'll do is I think I will just raise the ramp a little bit on the bike, make it a bit easier to work from. Yeah, oh yeah, these washers should be 9/16, 7/8 and 1/16 thick, and that's the part number there, 71-2500. Okay, let's get the bike up on the ramp. Right, so straight away we have a little bit of a problem with this cable. This has got a built-in switch, which I'm not particularly bothered about using anyway. But, and I'm guessing, I don't quite know how this switch is triggered when you pull the lever. Can't quite see how that works, but because it's very loose on there. So, but what I'm guessing is that cable is meant to be buttered up together with that switch like that. But look at those terminals actually touching the end of this ferrule on this cable. So unless you were to bend them tabs out, it's not going to work anyway. It's a bit of a bad design. So yeah, just as well I'm not going to use that. I did think about actually removing this bit altogether, because I think they are supposed to make the brake feel a little bit spongy, but yeah, I'll leave it on there for now, see how we get on. If not, I could cut it off and just butt those two bits together or clamp them. Yeah, so usual thing, isn't it? Right, but let's get on with fitting the cable and not worry about that. So first of all, we need to get this. I think what I'll do first is just see how well that fits on there. Can we get it over? Yes. Right, so that one fits on there, which I'm guessing that's meant to. Let's see, it does seem to fit okay. Let's just try the other one. So this is the one with the bigger hole in it. And this time I'll look through the back of the camera and make sure we're actually in shot. Yeah, and that does also fit, but it's a slacker fit there. So actually, does that go a little bit further on there than the other one? Let's try the other one back on again. Yeah, so this one hasn't got such a deep bore on it. I think what we'll do, we'll go with this one to start with and see how we get on. Because all it's going to do is give us a little bit of extra length on this bit here. Right, so get the rear end of this cable out of the way. That needs to go in there. So we've got the counterboard end, if you like, not that end, but the counterboard end that way. And pass the cable through like that. So that's how that's going to sit. And we have this spring. Feed on. Straight away we're under tension. Have we still? Let's push this switch together. Just taking the slack out. Right, let's have another go. Through there, through there, through there. Right, and this bit is where it gets a little bit fiddly, I think, because we've got like 3 hands. Right, so a washer needs to go in there. This little bit. So open end needs to face forward. Right, so we need to push that through while holding the washer. Getting the slot over the cable. Right. Hold the washer. Slot over the cable. Easier said than done. A little bit more. Completely lost the washer now. Not the best idea. And I've lost the slack up the other end. That switch pushed together. Well, you're going to have to get some tape or something around that. Keep that end in. Right, that in there, that in there. Tension on that spring. too far. Through the slot. Right. Now I just need to get the other washer in there without everything falling to bits. Right, that hasn't exactly fitted in that. Should have tried that in there first, really, shouldn't I? This nipple here is a little bit too big. It doesn't seem to want to go in the right. I think we're going to have to take this out, bore it out a little bit on this end to fit this nipple better. Right. I'll show you what I mean. Probably should have tried this first. Just get that spring off. Make it easier. Yes, that is supposed to go through there and pull in into there, but that little board section is not big enough, or more likely the nipple on this cable is too big, so bore that out a little bit. Right, there we are. So that will now fit in there as it should, so it can't slide along the slot. Right, let's have another go at getting this thing together. Right, I just need to spread these a little bit. They're closed in. Not quite enough room for the nipple. Right, there we are. So that's that in. That one in there. Spring is where it should be, so just got to run the cable up to the lever. Only thing I haven't got is the thingy that goes in there, a little cable bit, so I'll have to get one of those, but at least we can get the cable in place. So I'll just do the rest of that. There's that end in. And I've actually run it over this side rather than up here because of the length. It is possibly a little bit too long. Yeah, once that goes, it's quite a heavy duty cable actually. Yeah, so once that's back there, let's clip Yeah, that should sit about right. Yeah, that was too much on this side, so we crossed over to the other side. So we've got the front brake cable coming up this side of sort of the headlight. Oops, getting shot. Up this side of the headlight, and the clutch cable going down this side. Right, well that's that. I haven't put any lubrication in there as yet. I'm not sure if these are plastic lined or not. I'll need to have a look at the listing just to check. Yes, I'm not sure if that actually needs any lube or not. We'll probably put some grease up here anyway, and on these trunnions, grease those up. I just wanted to get it on there dry, make sure it's all functioning first. So that's that little bit done, and there's always fettling to do to get it to work, get it to fit, but we're there. Right, so next thing, well, just a little job, just get that on there, make sure that all works. Then I think we might do the pipes. Right, I've got the little nut in there, just clipped it in from the back. I'm going to assume that's the right way round. Makes sense to me because the thing's pulling this way, so it can't pull through. If you put it the other way, it could possibly pop out, so I'm going to assume that is correct. And also I've just got my rubbers on there, and again I'm assuming I've got them on the right way round. Right, well, let's give it a little try. I'll have to just put the camera down for a bit. Well, that's that on there. Not sure about this gap at the top here. Well, that's right. Also got that little cut out there for the hinge. Does seem to be a big gap here, so well, that's the right panel or not. I assume it is. Unfortunately, because I've got a bright orange battery, you can actually see it. But well, that's on there anyway. Okay, let's just check that the seat actually lifts up still. Oh, there we go. Yeah, well, the seat still lifts up anyway. Okay, so we'll now get on to doing the pipes. Clear a little bit of this stuff out of the way, and yeah, back on the tripod I think. So this is the parts book. So there's the bracket, bolt, spring washer. There's also bolt, nut and spring washer for there, although actually I've got no locks, so I'm just going to be using flat washers and no locks. So we've got this piece here, this cross brace, and the clamps. So here we have it. Here's the bracket. Just got to go on there. Bolts for that. The U and F. And we've got the clamp there, which somehow fits to this thing here. So I think what we'll do is I will sort of loosely fit each exhaust, so like these brackets I won't tighten them down or anything. I'll get everything in place, exhaust on each side, and then yeah, I'll just get it to fit, hopefully. Hopefully that fit better than most things do. Yeah, we'll see. straight away we have a problem. This bracket does not want to line up. Well, would you believe it? Let's just loosen that end right off. Oh, we might get it to go. Yeah, that's not a very good fit, is it, really? Yeah, I'm going to assume that as we tighten that up, that's going to form the correct shape. Yeah, it's a little bit out of thingy there, isn't it? Considering how loose they are at the moment. Right, so there's not going to be a lot of movement there, is there, for adjustment? Actually, are they ½ inch? Yeah, they are. Well, they would be, wouldn't they? Because they would, even if. Yeah, so much for having a loose fit. Well, that seems to be pulling down anyway. Yeah, that's pulling into shape. But there is no adjustment in them slots. They are, I suppose I could flatten that a bit. We'll see how we go, with the fit. If the fit's okay, I shan't worry. If it doesn't and we need a bit of adjustment, I'll have to flatten that bracket a little bit, I think. I don't want to risk cracking the powder coat on it. Yeah, you can see it's not quite. Hopefully you can see. Well, I can see. Look down. That's hard to get the camera lined up on it. Yeah, you can see it doesn't quite follow the curve. It's a little bit high here. Right, well, that's the bracket on. Clamp has got to go on. We'll just loosen these. Oh, let's say loosen these off. That was pretty loose. So let's say that would need to go that way, wouldn't it? Yeah. For this bracket to fit under there. Can't even see, can you? Yeah, so that has to fit under there. Actually, you could. I don't know if that's going to work with these brackets, is it? Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, that. Like that. That through there. Get that started. And hopefully there's enough. Although it doesn't look like them. Doesn't look like there's going to be. Cool, just about. Right. So that's how that goes, I think. Right, let's get this one on. See what we've got. we are. Pipes fitted. Although for some reason they do seem to be at different heights, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of messing about there. In fact, that might be them brackets. Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to have to flatten that bracket out a bit, because they are definitely, I think they are. Unless the bike is tipping one way, might be slightly. Yeah, so there's a little bit of adjustment to do there. I'm going to have to get some longer bolts if I want to use these Nylox here. These are 3/4. I need some inch bolts for there. And that's the strap underneath, and that is quite fiddly to do. So you can kind of see why people tend to leave it out. But I think what that stops, I think if you don't fit that, the pipes kind of sway a bit. I think that's what happens. Right, so just got a little bit of adjustment to do to get everything to sit right. Yeah, so it just wants to be raised on there, doesn't it? Might just be able to loosen that off and raise it up, and that might bring it square. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, that is definitely sitting closer to that bracket. Yeah, that is. Right, so I see the little bit of adjustment on this whole bracket. Take that off. I'll see if I can raise it first. If not, a little bit of bendy on that bracket. But that is going to be roughly it for the exhaust. Yeah, I did think about putting pea shooters on there at one point, because for no other reason that they're slightly cheaper than these ones. But I couldn't actually see on the picture what the fixings were like, whether they use the same bracket, whether I have to make a bracket, and then I forgot to start making brackets. I'm not, because I already had these brackets. I thought I might as well go with these in the end. Yeah, and I think these are also over the £150 threshold for free carriage, so by the time I factored everything else in, yeah, it was just as well to go with these. Though I do actually like the look of the pea shooters as opposed to these. Yeah, so it's coming along nicely. Okay, fuel taps. Well, I've got these fuel taps here. That one has got a stand pipe inside it, so that's the main. And this one, well, still in the wrapper, it's probably hard to see. There's no stand pipe in that, so that's the reserve one. And as I showed previously in my unboxing of the tank, when I had to recut the threads and everything, you can see just how loose that is in there. Absolutely atrocious, really. So yeah, we're going to have to give that a bit of double leak protection. So we're going to have to go over with some PTFE tape. Unfortunately, I've only got the standard stuff. Would have been better if I had the gas tape. It is slightly thicker. And I'm also going to fit washers. The name is completely gone from my head now. Doty washers, that's what they are. Yeah, so 1/4 inch doty washers. I'm going to fit those as well, and hopefully we won't get any leaks. Yeah, so I mean, the PTFE more than anything is just to stop it from rattling so much. Right, so let's see which way you're screwing in that way. So you want to go that way round with the tape. And this is where I normally drop the tape on the floor and it spills away everywhere. See if we can actually keep it on the thread. Yeah, it's sort of kind of guessing game as to really how much to put on here. So that might take a couple of attempts to get this right because it is so loose. I can't go too far with this because I'll never get the dirty washer over. I think that might be about it for that. Dirty washer. You can see that is tight. Getting that over. And I think I'm going to wind in as much as I can and then just tighten up with that. Right, so this is when we flipped over the right hand side. So we're going to have the main tap on the right and reserve on the left. And the phone is now going. Excuse me. Right, we're back. Okay, right, let's get that as far in as I can. Don't know if I'll get another turn on that. No, I won't. Right, so that'll have to be there. And tighten that down. 3/8. And yeah, hopefully we won't have any leaks. Of course, I don't really know that just yet. I'm still waiting for the choke cables to come, or the rest of the bits to make up the choke cables, so I'm not going to bother putting the tank on until then. Yeah, so I've got that's the tap. That I'll do the other one off camera. No point in seeing that again. And then I have these and hopefully these will be the right sort of angle. Have those little fittings to go on there. Again, until I get the tank on, won't really know, so I'll leave that off for now. Right, so I'll get this other one in. And we have yet another problem. Right, so even with my riser, that's not even fully down. That is touching the filter. And I can't move the filter back because it's practically on the oil tank. There's a very small gap there. Yes. So maybe they're going to have to find something which fits this a little bit better to, with a sharper angle on it. Or just have bell mouths, no filters, which I'm not that keen on, as we have a nicely rebored engine. I don't really want to be drawing grit in there. Yeah. Right, I'm going to have a look through my bits, see if I have got another union. If I haven't, I might have to order something to see what we can find. But that is just not going to work like that unless I make copper pipe, make my own union elbow. Might be the only other thing. Forgot if I can get some copper pipe in this. I've got flaring tools. Yeah, that might be the only other thing. Right, see what we can find.